Marillus Action, which is a recording program you may have never heard of, or at least not heard of for a very long time. It used to be really popular as a Fraps alternative, and then once OBS came out, it kind of lost a little bit of relevance, but it is still the only option for PC game streaming to stream in HDR to YouTube, which is pretty neat. I covered that in my video back in January or December, I believe. They've released a new update which adds a couple interesting things, including JPEG XL HDR capture, which is a standard for HDR capture that kind of improves things a little bit. You know, they're kind of trying to adhere to existing standards. They can now do time shift, which is basically like flashback recording in normal screen capture mode. They have improved support for NVIDIA DSR and AMD VSR. That's for when you're running games higher than your monitor's native resolution. And what's really interesting here, well, also improved CSGO support because CSGO keeps blocking capture programs. What's really interesting here is a new NVIDIA SLI recording engine, as well as Vulkan SLI recording, up to 40% improvement in DirectX 12 games. So SLI is pretty much dead, but there are still, you know, people who use it, and SLI is even worse on the streaming and recording side due to the way video encoding engines work. Splitting it up on graphics cards is just a disaster, but they have apparently added improvements for it. And that's what I find really cool and interesting about programs like Marillus Action, because they become very niche. They focus on very niche and kind of specific features that not mainstream users want. Like OBS, basically, OBS has a dilemma where they can't cater too specifically to any one audience, because it is a program that has, you know, use and interest around so many people in so many different communities. Whereas a program like Marillus Action can focus specifically on the hardcore gamers streaming and capturing games and focus on niche features for them. And so that is pretty neat. It's really interesting to see that such a little program can do so much, and it's because of their hyper focus. But then it sacrifices some of the capabilities that a lot of us might prefer out of OBS or something else.